right. Welcome back to JavaScript To-Do app course. And we are currently on week 3, day 3. We're going to take a look at our code and we're going to talk a little bit about this. We've used this in our uh, object and inside of our methods. And we want to talk a little bit about it and then talk about some common issues that come up. We'll talk about this more, but this is intended to be just a quick uh, uh, demonstration video showing one of the common mistakes. So here inside, we can just see this. It says this, okay? And so we are inside of the method add to do, or it's really a property that we're storing a function in. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but this is how I'm doing it right now. And inside of this function, we're passing a parameter to the function, and that parameter is to do. And that is right now it's some text. We're logging some, something to our console. This was part of our, initialization of this, and then part of the our process was just making sure we could get it to say this first before we worry about the next part. But diving into it, so this is I believe is referencing the object. So this is talking about the object that this method or function is a part of. So we can then say this is kind of the to-do app that we're working with. So then we can say this to-dos, and we're adding a to-do to our do, our array. Now the problem could come up if, now one thing is if we lose this, sometimes we don't have access to this, or this might be referencing something else. So one example of this is if we were to declare a function, add demo, and we said that to do app add to do was equal to add demo, then would it work to add demo some text? All right, would that work? Test. Add demo text. Now, was this going to add a to do? So we took away those because we're not running the function. We're trying to make this variable the method. If I did it like this, it would try to run that function. All right, so now we're going to save this and take a look and see if we can figure out what's happening. Control Shift I to bring up our console. And we're going to go over to day 3. And it's don't see, we do see it said this method will add a method to do to our project app, but when we add it, I mean, we should have technically, we should have something isn't working. So cannot read properties of undefined reading push. If we go over here, comment that out. So we could see it wasn't really working. Now, the other issue that can happen that we want to avoid would be using an arrow function like this to declare a function as a method and saying this, we want console.log this. Now, instead of it being our to-do app, let's see what that potentially could be. So we're going to go to our console and we're going to say to-do app dot arrow function, and we're going to run that. And we're seeing that it's the window and not our to-do app. Let's go back over to this and then do this the normal way. Function like this. Now, this is different than this, but let's see, does this still work? Let's try it. And so let's just repeat that same code. And now we see we've got our to-do app is this. So we can't use arrow functions in the to declare the methods for our object, because we'll lose this and that will cause problems. And then also we can't assign those methods to different variables and then use them, because that will also lose this property and it will cause errors. So a couple of things for us to look out for now that we're starting to use objects and methods in our code. So thanks. Go ahead and play around with this a little bit. Make sure that you understand it, run through the demo, and then we'll see you tomorrow for day 4, where we're going to add some functionality to our app for completing to-dos without just deleting the to-dos. So marking to-dos as complete. See you there.